It's not what many people are used to dealing with.
I just see them all the time and it just doesn't end like that. It never ends like that. I've never seen that in my lifetime of being a lifeguard.
You know, obviously sometimes we do our best and it's not good enough, but it hurts a lot.
5 people have walked off the shallows of a sandbank into the deep water of Backpackers Rip. 30 seconds after the group were first sighted, Singlets enters the water.
Yeah, boys, just so you know, the old bloke furthest out is the worst. Hopefully Singos gets straight on him.
I couldn't see the patients on the way out, and then I remember coming over to the last wave, and what I saw next just, you know, absolutely shocked me to the core.
Hello!
The woman is unconscious and not breathing. Singlets must let the team know. The situation is critical.
Instead of 3 pumps, the first thing you got to do is get the defib down to the shore. Ambulance, please.
This girl's unconscious.
Singlets is desperate for help, but there are no lifeguards free.
Of course, I wanted to help Singo. He was asking for help, but I couldn't leave this guy that was clearly about to drown.
Lifeguards learn the people are from the same family. Further out, the situation has become much worse.
Sorry, this lady's unconscious.
Singlets was screaming at me to come over and help him, and then I heard on the megaphone,
There's one out to the left here as well.
I had to paddle over the crest of 1 or 2 more little waves, and then I just saw the person face down, just lifeless and face down. And mate, that one was just unbelievable.
To have 2 people unconscious at the same time, I've never seen that in my lifetime of being a lifeguard.
Lady, hello! You want a hand? Yeah, one second, we have to get him.
Chapo's not even working, Chapo's in there.
You know, usually there's a bit of colour in someone who's unconscious, but mate, that was just straight up really bad. Where we were, there was just constant little waves that just kept chipping away, like just making it harder and harder and harder.
I just went straight to Corey because he needed help.
Singlets is left with no assistance.
I remember when the other lifeguards paddled to the other patients. You know, I just felt like, how am I going to manage this? Like, there's no one to help.
It's been 3 minutes since the pair were found face down. The human brain cannot survive without oxygen for much longer than 6 minutes.
If I lose my board,
Come on, lady! Talk to me, hello!
worst possible scenario,
Hello!
I'm going to be in the water with a dead patient.
Hello, hello! Come on, Tom!
I just thought to myself, I'm going to have to draw on every little bit of skill, every little bit of training
Lady, hello!
to get this woman in, because there is really no other option.
Anyone who's tried to pick up an unconscious patient is just pretty much sometimes impossible on your own. And, you know, for the job he did, it was just incredible.
Pick it up, pick it up! Sideways, sideways, use the drone.
This way, this way.
Yeah.
4.5 minutes after Oddbjorg was first found, Singlets begins the vital compressions, which will circulate oxygen from her bloodstream through to her brain.
1, 2, 3.
Kerbox prepares the defibrillator. The voice system will notify lifeguards if an electric shock can be given to restart Oddbjorg's heart.
Apply pad.
Settle down, settle down, settle down. Don't worry about that, keep coming, keep coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me do that. You get the pads on, right? Shit.
Oddbjorg's sister watches on.
Okay, mate, get ready to get off.
Stop CPR. Do not touch the patient.
Where's the other one?
No shock advised.
They're out there, mate. They're still out there.
Needed. Begin CPR.
Everyone knew, like, we've got to get him in as quick as possible, and as time went on, we're just thinking, got to get him in, got to get him in, got to get him in.
Even with like 3 or 4 other guys trying to push the board when a wave came, the wave just wouldn't take us. I just couldn't believe it.
Lifeguards must battle against the power of Backpackers Rip.
Corey did that initial work and he was just like, get him in, and we were trying.
Kerbox and Singlets are desperate for assistance.
Hey, mate, can you get your hand here? No English. Get down.
Yeah, this gentleman just came up after I was yelling, you know, please someone help. He couldn't speak English and, you know, realistically, it didn't matter. We just needed his help. You know, we're forever grateful.
Continue for 30 seconds.
5 surfers have joined 3 lifeguards in the fight against the rip.
Somehow he came off the board again. It just drove me insane that I couldn't get him in.
Lifeguards listened to the defibrillator.
Continue for 15 seconds.
But Oddbjerg's heart rhythm is in flatline and she can't be shocked.
1. Stop CPR. Stop now.
I remember looking around and went, oh no.
This is going to be the worst thing I've ever seen as a lifeguard.
The thing that was going through my brain more than anything was like, this person's friends or family are going to be on the beach watching this whole thing.
Seven minutes after Johnny was first found in the water, resuscitation begins.
Compression's now, cause. Coming out. Compression's cause. Straight enough. Let go, mate. Don't use your thumbs, mate.
This is the worst crisis the service has faced in decades.
So bad.
He's so determined to get the patient back, no matter how long they've been unconscious for. You know, you're not going to give up.
Get the bearing. Tilt the head, mate. Head back. Head tilt. Yeah.
Continue.
Good compressions, box.
They're getting there. They're getting there.
At the end, mate. Rolling. Rolling, mate. Go on, mate. Come on, mate. Come on. Come on, mate.
Essential to the boys. Boys, have I got anyone to come up here and give the ambos a lift down?
Yeah, jump in.
3. That 1. Stop CPR.
15 minutes after the pair were found face down,
There's one patient.
the prospect of successful resuscitation is becoming less likely by the second.
Is it good? Jump water? Just keep going with the compression. Just keep going with the compression.
Anybody's coming.
Fingers crossed, boys. Come on.
How are you, mate? We've got no pulse, no breathing. In the water for maybe 5 minutes.
How we going with the shocks and all that?
We haven't had a shot, we haven't had a AFib.
Just keep going with CPR?
Yep, that's all we've been doing, man.
The whole time, I wanted to see nothing but see him start coughing or blink or something, you know.
Johnny is also fitted with a defibrillator in the hope his heart can be restarted.
I was just really, really hoping something would happen.
We want to keep going.
A non-shockable rhythm.
But no shockable rhythm is present.
Back to CPR, print, please, ventilate.
Okay,
4 minutes exactly.
With our compressions, the hope is that we generate a shockable rhythm and get it off flatline, and that can help him come back to life.
Okay, so we're at 5 minutes then.
Okay, I'll go to the 6 minutes. You want me to stop?
Bung in.
Yeah, I'm alright, I've got another 2 minutes.
We don't stop CPR now, we let you know when you stop, okay? Doing well, guys.
30 metres away, paramedics fit an ECG machine to Oddbjerg, hoping to identify electrical activity in her heart.
And then out of nowhere, he said, oh, hey boys, I think I'm getting a faint electrical activity there. Next minute, you know, we heard we've got activity, there's a pulse come back. I looked at Singless, was like, oh my God, like we've got it back.
Absolutely incredible. One of the paramedics told me that there's a 0.01% chance that someone will survive something like this, and there it was right in front of us.
It was just this huge relief, and Singless and I were like, thank God. But, you know, that didn't help things as well, because then the boys, unfortunately, across from us were like, you know, had their heads down, and all of a sudden, you know, our focus turned to them, and then I was like, oh no.
With their sister revived, family members turned to their brother-in-law. But after 30 minutes of CPR, paramedics call an end to the resuscitation.
It was like, how? why can't we get this guy back? Like, you know, over the years we've had so many successful sort of resuscitators and situations, and mate, it's surreal. It's surreal having someone die at your hands.
I saw them, and then you guys were there, and I was like, it was just routine, and they just went like that.
Yeah. It's not what many people are used to dealing with.
Yeah, when Singlet started paddling, it just got worse and worse. You know, it's our one job down here to get everyone home safe and out of the water, and you know, obviously sometimes we do our best and it's not good enough, but it hurts a lot.
Now breathing on her own, Oddbjerg is placed into an induced coma and prepared for transportation to hospital.
But when she left the beach, you know, you're never out of the woods. You got a big fight still on your hands.
I'll come with you as well, all right? It's going to be okay.
Thank you.
So she's showing really good signs, all right? So just relax, okay? It's going to be all right.
I have a brother in here too.
I know, it's okay. We'll just worry about one person at a time, okay?
Thank you.
It would have been horrific to watch your family member, if not two of them, you know, going for a leisurely swim 1 minute and next minute being resuscitated on the middle of the beach.
It may be days before Oddbjerg's condition is fully known.
You never have that, you know, feeling of relief until you finally get the all clear, and you know, you're just praying, you know, for days that you're going to get that.
Mate, I just see them all the time, and it just doesn't end like that. It just never ends like that.
It felt like 10 minutes. We were all just standing there as a group. I think everyone was just trying to comprehend it.
3 days after the drowning, lifeguards await news on the condition of 67-year-old Oddbjerg, the woman they resuscitated.
I was just sitting in the tower watching the water, and we got a knock at the door, and she said, hi, you rescued my sister? And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, and she was looking at me, and I just said, you know, how is she? And she's like, this is her. And the lady just stood there, and like, we just looked at each other for 20 seconds. I just looked at her. I was like, this can't be real. Like, you should be dead.
As soon as we saw each other, we just had this huge hug for about a minute, and there were tears. I think one stage we just looked at each other. For me to see her with life in her body and life in her eyes was incredible. So this is from the sister, actually. Dear Trent, thank you again for saving my sister from drowning on Bondi Beach.
For the hard work you and your fellow lifeguards did for both Oddbjerg and our brother-in-law, Johnny, meant the world to us.
I had the feeling of being in a roller coaster between deep sorrow and extreme happiness.
Going home together with Oddbjerg, who shows no signs of injury at all, is the best gift ever.
I would like you to know, and also pass on to your fellow lifeguards, that all of us who were present at Bondi are so grateful for your knowledge, capacity, endurance, and hard work regarding both Johnny and my sister.
Our sister, who lost her husband, asked me to thank you for trying as hard as you did to save Johnny's life.
His coffin will come to Norway in a few days, so we are going to gather for his funeral. Please pass on our thanks to everybody involved.
Late afternoon, and the swell peaks at 10 feet. But the period between the waves is deceptively long. A call comes through to the tower. Minutes earlier, an eyewitness filmed two people venturing out onto Ben Buckler Headland.
Oh my God! Got a call on the phone saying that there was an unconscious patient in the water off the back of Ben Buckler. So myself and Beardy launched a ski.
Went to the boat ramp, and I immediately saw a lady who had cuts all over her legs. And so I just went straight up to them and started asking questions, and that was the lady who had been knocked over and was missing her husband.
We knew we were in for a difficult task. You know, the ocean was aggressive.
the rocks that make it even more of an unfriendly environment, and we knew that timing was pretty critical. The clock's on for survival.
The lifeguards are desperate for information about the missing man. But his wife is Russian and doesn't speak English.
As it happened, somebody spoke Russian, so I had an interpreter. I basically asked her, can you show me where you went swimming, or can you show me where you were? As we went to start walking to go and pinpoint this area, a body just washed up on flat rock right in front of my eyes.
He's now been in the water for over 10 minutes.
My initial reaction was, oh my God, there's a body right in front of us all. I've got to go and get it, and I'm by myself. The emergency services were up on the hill, and I'm not even sure if they saw it. So I went to go and get it, but the next wave washed the body back into the water.
The risk of brain damage becomes more likely after approximately 5 minutes without oxygen.
It is critical we get in the water and start conducting that search.
You know, he's still got a chance, so we're going to sort of do everything in our power to try and bring him back. We sort of restarted our search around that area, and Beardy jumped off with a mask and some fins and sort of was swimming around.
More police and paramedics arrive.
It's very confronting to know that you're about to jump in the water and you're looking for a body, and there's a very good chance that you're going to find him. I had to tell the other boats to move away from me, because if I'm diving under and I have a boat buzz over the top of me and hit me, well, I'm just another patient.
Between them, Jake, Beardy and Chapo have over 40 years of lifeguarding experience.
It was just a really dangerous position because it was on flat rock and there's 8-foot sets coming through. So visibility was almost zero.
The water was murky. You see a shape and your heart rate's going through the roof. You're coming up, you're hearing the crowd. It's really amazing how your senses just start tuning into everything. I've got the waves washing in my face, and I decided to go down. This is where I'm confronted with the gentleman who's stuck on the rocks. I try and grab him, but I can't seem to free him. I have to yell out to Chapo, you need to give me a hand, I can't grab him. Me and Chapo are able to free the gentleman. And there's a lot of current pulling against us, and there's so many things that are working against you. We're fighting to try and pull basically a dead weight up on the back of a rocking jet ski was really hard. Jake was able to manoeuvre that jet ski perfectly to give us the best opportunity of getting this gentleman up the boat ramp safely, and safely for ourselves.
Jake's driving was sensational. And then another legend from nowhere, just a bystander, came and helped me and Beardy, and me and Beardy had the arms and he had the legs, and like we couldn't have done it without him.
Beardy immediately begins resuscitation. It's now been over 20 minutes since the man was swept into the sea.
We have to start CPR, and we're not going to stop until the paramedics come and tell us not to. You know, once they worked out where we were, they were very quickly to take over and give this guy every opportunity. And they did everything. They tried really hard in a really difficult situation to basically bring this guy back.
After 10 minutes of CPR, paramedics pronounce the man dead.
This is just a really tragic accident. Unfortunately, this couple had ventured out in an area that they were unfamiliar with. You know, their intention wasn't to come down to Bondi with any risky behaviour. They were just not informed about the power of the ocean. For me, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to be involved in that situation and actually see the gentleman pass away, really, and in front of his wife. There's nothing more that we could have done. This particular incident, the odds were just against us, the gentleman, but operationally I couldn't be more proud of our team.
Know something's serious when multiple people across the beach are waving their arms frantically.
Beachgoers have reported 2 swimmers swept out in the notorious Backpackers Rip.
As we were driving south, it was quite difficult to locate where these patients were.
I can't see anything. Oh, shit. Right. Want me to go or you? Here you go. Yeah, got off. There's someone at the back and they drink going.
Oh yeah, I see out there. Right out the back.
Maxi charges out with a 100-metre paddle as Chapo does the detective work.
Thanks, matey. What happened?
No, I was just at this little peak and then I gave one of them my board and swam in to come get you guys.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Thank you.
In this case, the rip was quite far out to sea. I was going as hard as I could. It was quite a long paddle. Am I going to get there in time? Is there multiple casualties? You know, all these things are running through your mind. There's a lot going on.
How long have they been going on for?
Maybe like 2 minutes.
Oh.
Like they seem to be fine and then they just like screaming.
I eventually get out there and I could see 2 people out the back and a few surfers helping out.
All right, come over here, brother. What are you swimming down here for? Well, for it.
The rescue was only half done. We needed to get them back into shore. These 2 swimmers were quite distressed and panicky.
All right, stop. Hop back in, hop back in. Come over here, boss.
As Maxi tries to get the panicking patients on board,
Turn around.
he spots an empty surfboard floating on the surface.
So whose board's this?
Where's the third person? Where's this other person? Who's on this board?
So where's the person for that board, though?
Do we have a missing person on our hands here? It's a very serious situation unfolding, and I need to work out exactly where this person is.
That's her board? Oh, that's her board? Okay, awesome.
I was quite relieved to see a person further out holding onto another surfboard. She kindly donated her board to help with these drowning swimmers.
Turn around. No, spin around.
We didn't have another missing person on our hands.
You come over here.
Now the primary focus was to get these 2 patients on my board back to shore safely.
But easier said than done.
You move up. Move up. Yep. You hop on.
Because we were quite far out to sea, you know, the half the challenge was getting him on the board safely.
Hop on top of him. Hop on top of him.
Quite a bit of a wrestle.
All right, come back. Lay down.
They weren't really listening to what I had to say. They were quite panicky.
Hey. What are you doing? Hey.
There was one point where we fully rolled.
Actually,
I need to take control of that situation very quickly.
Hey, stop. You're getting yours in, all right?
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
You. Hop on the board. No, they didn't speak much English, but when I roused on them, they start to learn very quickly. All right, now you come back in the white shirt. Come back. All right, lay down. All right, okay, we're good. Just try and keep your balance on the board.
Rescuing 2 patients on the one board requires exceptional strength and balance.
As soon as they listened, we got them on the board nice and quickly and safely, and we made our way back to shore.
All right. All right, boys, are you okay? Okay. Come here. Lesson learned. Swim between the flags, all right? So when you're swimming, stay this current side. Okay. Not good. This, okay to protect you from the sun, but when you swim, very hard.
Doesn't matter how many rescues you do, it's always a relief to have the patients back on the shore after a serious rescue and they're alive and well.
You okay? You okay? All right, sweet. See you later.
So I'll just
Luke and Terry race down. Maxie backs up with a defibrillator. Lifeguards have no idea what's happened.
What's going on? We're already on the shoreline. Oh, they've already got him on the shore.
How do we miss that?
A 13-year-old girl nearly drowned at South Bondi. Lifeguards arrive after she's been dragged from a rip.
Who's with this girl?
I'm with her mother.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I couldn't get out to her. They were told to stay here.
Maxie monitors her pulse. The girl is in shock and may have taken in water.
Young Lydia here has gone for a swim. She's down here with 9 other kids, is that right? And she's got caught in this southern rip here. And like that, she's almost drowned.
My daughter was swimming with her cousins, all teenagers. Told to stay here, don't listen. She got washed out further.
Bring him up to speed. I'd like to get an ambulance to check her out.
Mate, just stand by. The chick's stable. We've got her on oxygen. She's a bit tired and a bit shocked, but I think we'll get an ambulance just to get her checked out. She's 13 years old, girl.
Luckily, former lifeguard George was surfing nearby.
Yeah, no, because that's where now I thought it was a resus for sure. The way she walked, you know.
She was really panicking. Yeah. I said, "You're all right, darling. Got you. You're okay." And
how far out were you?
But when I picked her up,
just in a little rip on there behind here, right?
End rock.
Lydia and her family come from Sydney's west. Living 50 kilometres from the coast, they rarely come to the beach.
You've got 10 kids here.
Yeah, because I've got their nieces and that too. They're all older.
All right, yeah. This end of the beach it's a surfing end and it's also littered with rips. We found out the hard way why we want people to swim in the flags. Okay.
Sure, right? Thanks, mate.
Thank you so much.
You saved a life, mate. Very lucky. Yeah, cheers, mate. All the best, though. Thank you.
It's our job. It's not a good feeling. I'm not heaps stoked about it.
Bit of a blowout, you know. I've never actually been here, you know, when something's happened like that.
That was pretty close to drowning as I'd like to get. And if it wasn't for the surfer, I'd hate to think how that might have ended up. So, yeah, a big thank you to the board riders at Bondi for that assist.
After a night of observation, Lydia was discharged from hospital. At 4:30 p.m, lifeguards thought they saw a man drowning at South Bondi. An extensive search failed to find him. No family or friends have come forward. Lifeguards remain unsure if anyone actually went missing. 2 hours later, as pack-up begins, a 16-year-old boy comes to the tower. He is looking for his father.
About where they are, you're so pretty close to the rocks.
If this is the missing man, lifeguards realise there's slim hope of finding him alive.
Hey, Corey, we're going to call the helicopter.
Your family's down here?
Yeah.
When your dad went in the water, did someone go in with him?
No.
No? He went by himself?
Yeah. All right.
The missing man is a doctor from Mongolia. He migrated to Australia with his wife and 3 children just 1 week ago.
The missing person is about 40 years of age. He's from Mongolia. His name is Dungu. He arrived at the beach 2 to 3 hours ago, went for a swim and hasn't been seen from his family since. All right, so when was the last time you saw your husband?
Until 12.
All available lifeguards resume the search, while 18-year-old Blake stays with the family.
I'd rather she was up at Central rather than be down here if something was to happen to her, whether she slips in the shop or whatever. What do you think?
The only thing is, if she comes up here, she's going to be hearing every radio message and phone call that goes on, over.
Yeah, copy that, mate. I'll just monitor down here the best I can.
Okay, someone's just got to try and curb her calm, that's all. That can be reassuring.
Lifeguards search above and below the water. But as the light fades, Reedy finds it hard going. It's now 7:20 p.m, almost 3 hours since the man first went missing. As word spreads, off-duty lifeguards volunteer to join in the search.
It's a pretty bad rip down here at South, deep channel, and yeah, not really strong swimmers down here today, so I'm not sure. I don't want to say what I think's happened, but yeah, all I can say is just hope for the best. Hopefully he shows up around, like he might have just wandered off, but we'll just wait and see. The police helicopter's here and Westpac was just here. We've got the guys out there in the jet ski, so we're just giving an extensive search and hopefully it all turns out for the best. You know, hopefully it all goes good.
Where was he? Was he in the water at 5 or was that when he went in?
Can he swim? He cannot swim.
When's his birthday? My name's just defined.
What day?
What day was it?
Oh, today.
Today.
So the 20th?
Yeah. 20th.
Yep, of January 1965.
We've got a guy out there on the surfboard waving his hands. I think he's got him. Head tilt. Get the tilt.
Until paramedics arrive, lifeguards must work on the man, no matter what the chances of resuscitation.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I mean, they're obviously doing everything they can, the boys. They have the defib and the oxygen and everything on him, but, you know, he's just been under too long.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 29, 30.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Put him down. Do not touch. All right, off.
Yeah, Bruce and Corey made it. The lifeguard's tower, we found him and the boys are working on him furiously. I think it's a futile attempt, but the ambulance is here just picking him up now.
Feel really sick in the stomach because it was my area of the water and I just felt like I'd made a mistake. I'd done something wrong.
Have this kid come up to you and you know that his father is dead. The hardest part was walking along the beach and kind of asking him the questions like, can your dad swim? Does he have anywhere else to go? And you saw it click in his head and then his mum's head that, like, there isn't much hope. Like, he was in the water. He didn't have anywhere else to go. He couldn't swim. And I think that was the toughest part for me was watching them realise that their husband, like their father, is gone, and no one ever wants to finish a day at work knowing that someone died while they were on.
For us to do this job, we have to expect things like this. It's hard to deal with at the time, but I think it's going to be a lot harder on the guys that it was their first time.
I think the best thing was going through it as a group. Like, that night, I felt a lot more part of the team. Like, we'd all worked together and done everything we could, and we were all feeling exactly the same. And it was, yeah, it's one of the things I took out of it was the great sense of being part of the team and being a lifeguard now. I think it'll probably make him a better lifeguard because, like, in his first year, he's just realised that people drown. You know, this isn't just a walk in the park job. You know, this is like lifeguarding is lifeguarding, and you're guarding lives. And if, you know, people will drown.
From what I gathered from his family and friends, well, Yondon Dungu himself was 42 years of age. He'd been in Australia for 1 week, and his family would have absolutely been thriving on the fact that they've been given this new opportunity and about to kickstart a new life. And in the blink of an eye, as it occurs down here sometimes at Bondi, it was just taken away from him, and it literally was that fast.
Several lifeguards attended Dungu's funeral to pay their respects to his family. Having lost their breadwinner, the family then had no choice but to return to Mongolia. A family friend has sent a letter to the lifeguards on their behalf.
On behalf of the family, Dungu's wife, Segi, and children Zorig, Sambaya and Bachulun, I would like to thank the Waverley lifeguards for their sympathy and support. The attendance of so many Bondi lifeguards at the funeral was very much appreciated. The family is aware of the stresses and pressures the lifeguards have to face on a daily basis to keep the beaches safe, and we wish all of you good luck for the future.
We're passionate about what we do. This is why we take it so seriously, because when you read those words in there, it's pretty ordinary.